Hi, Chloe. How you doing? Thanks for hopping on and having a chat. It's great having you as a client, and just wanted to talk with you real quick about your experience working with me and our team at Noah King Consulting. Um, can you kind of walk us through because you were, working with Compt and their SaaS, product and service. Can you kind of walk through what led you to reach out to us and what problems you were experiencing before reaching out?
Yeah, so I joined Compt in late fall, and the week that I started, the company was actually going through a massive site migration, moving from Unstack to WordPress. So, having been a part of a lot of site migrations and overhauls, I had a feeling that there may be some things that may have been overlooked. And so, what we really wanted to do is make sure that the technical health of our website was sound. As I was being onboarded, I spotted, little things here and there that made me just want to start with a clean slate and get kind of like that um, clean bill of health
Yeah.
for our website.
Cool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Um, and obviously, I'm sure, we wound up working together, but in your research of figuring out who you wanted to work with, and figuring out what SEO agency or consultant made sense for Compt, what were you looking for in particular, and why did you wind up, moving forward with us?
Yeah, so I was looking for an agency that had the expertise and knowledge to do a thorough technical audit, but that was kind of all I wanted was just the technical audit. We weren't at the point where we felt like we wanted to bring anyone in for more of like a comprehensive content strategy audit. And as I was kind of evaluating and interviewing other agencies and consultants, they were trying to pitch me on all of these other services that I really didn't want. What I really wanted was just a technical audit with someone that had a really thorough checklist so that I could feel taken care of in the sense that all of the boxes were being ticked off. And then someone who was going to communicate what sort of work was going to be doing. I mean, no one likes, paying a contractor and then them going radio silent for 3 weeks and then being like, okay, we're done. I wanted to understand exactly what was happening with our site so that I could communicate that up to our VP of marketing so that we had full transparency.
Oh, awesome. That makes sense. Um, cool. And then can you talk a little bit about once we, started the project, got things kicked off, to give, people some background. We had kind of an audit phase and like an action plan phase to put together, a game plan of what we found on the technical side to fix and had a review call to go over those findings. So once we got to that point and started working and implementing things, can you kind of walk through what it was like to work with our team?
It was great. I felt like everything was really thoroughly documented in working with the team. I felt like I was kept in the loop, and anything that I could fix on my end, with like limited WordPress experience, we were able to quickly chat about that and say, okay, well, is that something that, Noah's team can fix? Is that something that my team can fix? Or is that something that maybe a developer needs? So we were able to create a quick kind of checklist of things that needed to be escalated versus like the low-hanging fruit that we could address right then and there.
Yeah.
So I felt like everything was really thorough, documented,
Mhm.
and I knew exactly what sort of progress we were making.
Yeah. Awesome. Um, and then obviously, pretty quickly after we implemented a majority of the changes to the site, yeah, I believe we saw pretty big uptick in your rankings, your keyword rankings for a good number of keywords. Um, can you speak on like what it was like to see that kind of so quickly turn around?
Yeah, I think we caught a couple different things on the technical side, which improved our overall site health in just a very short amount of time. I think it was about 2 months, that improved our site health by around 8 points. So we finally had like that clean bill of website health that we were after. And then we saw improved visibility for almost, I think, 4,000 different keywords. So that was a phenomenal improvement. Organic traffic is really important to the business. So any little thing that we could do, and some of the things that the team did was changing the structure of our metadata, adding in more schema markups, and also looking at like our Yoast settings because we had some Yoast plugins that we had on WordPress in addition to fixing a ton of different redirects so that was bogging down the site speed. So we immediately saw some improvements on that as well. So it's
And
great.
I believe you got some awesome feedback too from the VP after all that as well too, right when we had our final call.
Yeah, I did. So the final call was, obviously our most VPs like to um, just get the work done. But I really wanted to make sure that my VP was involved at every step and understood, the impact of what we were doing. So so Noah and I worked on a call agenda together to show like the impact of the work, what we had done so that she had enough of the high level plus kind of in the weeds look to understand the impact of the work. And immediately after, she was hopping to another call and she messaged me and she said, first of all, thanks for hiring him. He clearly understands what to do, and I can already see the impact on our site. I feel a lot more confident that our site has like this clean bill of health and we're technically sound, and that he didn't find any like glaring errors that we can really move forward with. So that was great, having only been at the company for a few months, getting that kind of check mark myself, but really spoke to the professionalism and the work that we saw.
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate those kind words. It's great. Always great to get that feedback in an industry where um, that doesn't always, happen as much. So, well, great. Appreciate you hopping on to chat a little bit about your experience working with us, and really appreciated you being a client.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your work on this and happy to help.
Yeah, thank you.